is equal to a certain number a, then where a is a real number, not infinity, m is a real number, then y equal a is horizontal asymptote. Okay? Again, to remind you, horizontal asymptote is parallel to the x-axis. For the vertical asymptote, if limit as x approaches a plus or a minus, one of is equal to positive infinity or negative infinity, again where a is a real number, then x equal a is a vertical asymptote. Here, I mean one of four cases. If the limit as x approaches a minus is equal to negative infinity, or limit as x approaches a minus is equal to positive infinity, or limit as x approaches a plus is equal to negative infinity, or limit as x approaches a plus is equal to positive infinity. If you have one of these four cases, it's enough to say that x equal a is a vertical asymptote. If you have one of these four cases, enough to say that we have vertical asymptote. Here, the graph will be like this. Here is a, x equal a minus is negative infinity, and the graph is like this. And then this one, here we have a, any real number a minus is positive infinity, so and this one, a plus is negative infinity from the right side is, and in this one, a plus, the limit is positive infinity, so from the right side, the graph. Here is the graph. Okay? Right. Do you have any question about this?
أستاذ بس بدي أسأل كيف بنكتبهم؟
هلا بنجي
يعني نحن
ايه؟
أقول إنه نحن قبل واحدة حطينا إنه الواي إيكوال للA
ماما في ضغط
إيه.
تلاقي جيب لي الحين
بالهوريزونتال.
y
طب
equal a.
بالفيرتيكال صح.
ايه.
طب بالفيرتيكال عندنا A minus و A plus بنحط حسب
You write
كل
A.
equation بس
You write
A.
x equal a.
أوكي.
For the asymptote, you write x equal a. Okay?
أوكي.
No, that way. I wrote it here. A minus or a plus is positive infinity or negative infinity.
مثل
You write x equal a is a vertical asymptote. You don't write x equal a minus or x equal a plus. In all of these, you write x equal a is a vertical asymptote. A minus, a plus, for the limits we use. Okay?
ماشي أستاذ thank you.
Right. May I erase?
No أستاذ لا بس دقيقة please.
Yeah. We are going to solve exercise number 4 on page 125.
شو؟ كم شو؟ عشان بسمع هلاك بس دقيقة.
Done?
واي شو لولو؟
أستاذ ضروري نرسم الجراف ولا لا؟
اي شو؟
No, just to explain. Graphically to explain.
أوكي خلص.
Explain the meaning of each one of these.
أوكي.
We need the graph in the coming lessons, because in the coming lessons you are going to sketch the graph of the function. You will have a function and one of the parts is to graph the function. Of course you are going to use the limits. So for example, if you get the limit as equal to this, for example in this case, how to graph? You have to understand the graphical representation of the limit, as you did at the beginning of the lesson, or the graph. Done?
اقري لي الجراف، اقري الرعد طيب.
يس أستاذ خلصنا. خلصت.
ايه
Yeah.
غير شو محشش على المت انت.
Exercise number 4,
بعرف
page 125. Number 4. The question for each of the following functions, write the equations of the asymptotes parallel to the axes of coordinates. What are the axes of coordinates? The statement of the question is
يعني الأكس والواي.
parallel to the x-axis, parallel to the y-axis.
برجع هسه بشوف.
Right. When you say asymptote, here is the x-axis, here is the y-axis. When I say asymptote is parallel to the x-axis, what does it mean?
horizontal asymptote يعني.
Horizontal asymptote. And an asymptote parallel to the y-axis,
vertical.
vertical asymptote. So here the question is find all horizontal and vertical asymptotes.
بيناتهم
Change
أستاذ.
the statement of the question, not more. Find asymptotes parallel to the axes of coordinates. So find the horizontal and vertical asymptotes. This is the question. Okay? Now, part A, or part 1, you have f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 over
يا
x. Good. Let's start with the horizontal asymptote.
ماما
Now, horizontal asymptote.
اكتب.
What do you have to find? In order to find the equation of the horizontal asymptote, what do we find?
من الأكس للبلس infinity أو minus infinity.
Good. You find the limit of the function as x approaches positive infinity or negative infinity. Okay? You find the limit as x approaches positive infinity and limit as x approaches negative infinity. Right. Limit
تكست يا حبيبي.
of f of x as x approaches positive infinity, that's equal to, since here we have infinity, we consider bias exponents. The same way we found the limits in the previous exercises. So it is the limit of 2x over x as x approaches positive infinity, which is equal to, simplify.
2
Limit at infinity is equal to,
plus أو minus infinity.
the same idea for the negative infinity. But limit at infinity is 2. Limit at infinity is number. What can we deduce?
إنه هيدي HA.
إن
y
there is
equal-
a horizontal asymptote.
asymptote.
Then y equal to is horizontal asymptote. HA is horizontal asymptote. So y equal to is horizontal asymptote.
قفل. طب جيبي لي كتاب الماث.
Clear?
لا
Because here we said if limit at infinity, the remark I just told, limit at infinity, whether positive or negative, is equal to a number, limit, as x approaches positive or negative infinity, is equal to a certain number, either number. A is a real number. Then y equal a is the horizontal asymptote. The line of equation y equal a is horizontal asymptote. Right? Right. Now here we have limit at infinity is equal to 2. Limit at infinity is equal to a number. Limit at infinity here is equal number. So y equal this number is horizontal asymptote.
لأنه ليميت على الانفينيت ايكوال هيك صارت
يعني limit at infinity is equal to a number. Okay?
اوكي.
Now I'll show you the graph of this function and you'll see that y equal to is a horizontal asymptote. Is that clear? Any questions in part for the horizontal asymptote?
استاذ هو page 125 في اي exercise بس
4. Okay? Do you have any question?
لا تمام.
Okay, right. In part, oh, sorry, not part. Now for the vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote. Look here at the difference between the horizontal and vertical asymptote. For the horizontal asymptote, simply you find the limit at infinity. You know what limit you have to find. Limit as x approaches infinity. And here you find the limit if the answer is a real number, then y equal this real number is horizontal asymptote. But for the vertical asymptote, you have to find limit as x approaches a number and you are not given this number. How to find it? Limit as x approaches what? I have to find limit as x approaches what? If
ناخد السؤال
we
تبع
have
اتش اي.
لا. There's no
نجيب
relation
الدومين
between
أستاذ.
one moment. There's no relation between the horizontal asymptote and the vertical asymptote. يعني مش انه here find limit as x approaches to. No.
اوكي.
Hey.
بسكني.
One remark. We are saying something, Amid.
كنت عم بقول لك انه بناخد الدومين فوق
برافو عليك. Why?
كرمال انه الاكس does not equal to 0.
Here the domain x is different than 0. Good. طيب. يعني here find limit as x approaches 0.
لا 0 plus or 0 minus.
Why did you choose this number? It's correct. So شوي عم نستفزك. Why did you choose this number?
استاذ لانه ما عندنا طريقه ثانيه او انه بحس انا
مشان
Conjecture.
بس بالدينومينيتر
ايه
مشان
صح كمل.
زيرو يعني تعطينا
لانه
برافو عليك. Because here limit as x approaches a minus or a plus should be positive or negative infinity. In which case you get infinity. Case number over 0.
مظبوط.
So for that reason you find limit as x approaches 0 here where the denominator is 0, which is the domain. In step number 1 you put the denominator equal to 0 to find this number. And then you check the limit. So find limit as x approaches 0 minus or 0 plus, one of them. Again, to repeat again, in order to determine this number, if we have a number, sometimes we don't have. I'll give you an example. Sometimes you don't have a number. But in order to find this number, you can find it from the domain. If you are not given the domain, you put here the denominator equal to 0. Denominator equal to 0 for this type of functions, for rational functions. Other functions in grade 12, no. Sometimes we don't have denominator, sorry. For example, logarithmic functions, and we have asymptotes, vertical asymptote. We don't have fraction. Okay? But for the rational functions, polynomial over polynomial, okay, you consider the denominator or the roots of the denominator, the roots of the denominator, or you put the denominator equal to 0, as if you are finding the domain. Here, the roots of the denominator could be x equal to the roots, could be vertical asymptotes, because you have to check, you have to find the limit. Because also, when you put the denominator equal to 0 and find limits at the roots, sometimes it's not infinity. I will show you, I'll give you an example about it. But in general, in order to find these numbers, you put the denominator equal to 0, consider the roots, and find the limit at these roots. Limit as x approaches 0 minus. Replace. It's 1 over 0. 2 times 0, 0, plus 1 is 1 over 0. Now number over 0 is infinity. 0 minus numbers less than 0, negative 0.1. Replace by negative 0.1, again, negative. Positive by negative is negative. This is enough to say that x equals 0 is a vertical asymptote. 0, infinity. Number infinity.
بس هي أخذنا 0 minus.
لا. You write x equals 0. You don't write x equals 0 plus or 0 minus. 0 minus 0 plus, we use it for the limits. The limit when this number is close to 0 but from the left side. When this number is close to 0 but this number is less than 0.
بس شو عرفنا انه هو less than 0 بلكي 0 plus.
I said you find one of these things.
أنا ما بتفرق حيلا.
يعني if a student wrote limit as x approaches 0 plus of f of x, it's 1 over 0 plus, which is positive infinity, then x equals 0 is a vertical asymptote. This is also correct. Of course, you don't have to write it both, one of them.
أستاذ أيوب
Yes?
أيات dominator
Rational function, how to find the domain? You put the denominator different than 0. So x different than 0. Right?
طيب هون
Here the domain will be negative infinity 0, union 0 infinity. Or if you want, the domain it's R except 0.
هلا استاذ الليمت تبع الفيرتيكال لازم يطلع ليميت اكس اوف الهايدي شو اسمه الهوريزونتال، يعني عرفت هي كيف؟ يعني جوابها يطلع مثل الليمت تبع الهوريزونتال.
لا. No relation between the horizontal and vertical. Don't mix between them. Never.
اوكي.
I may start here by vertical.
ثلاث ماينس انفينيتي.
Would you please repeat?
انه هون في ماينس انفينيتي وفوق ماينس انفينيتي.
طب هون في عندي positive infinity.
وفوق بتزبط بوزيتيف انفينيتي.
The horizontal asymptote, because the horizontal asymptote, you find the limit at infinity, positive or negative. محسوب.
اوكي.
For the vertical asymptote, for sure, if we have vertical asymptote, then the limit will be positive infinity or negative infinity. Don't mix between them. Doesn't mean that there is a relation between horizontal.
اوكي.
أستاذ صباح حطيت over 0 يعني.
Replace limit as x approaches 0. Replace x by 0.
تطلع 0.
Okay. 1 over 0.
اوكي
ولا انت اخذ هاي يا اس اكسبوننت اوعى
يعني نغفي شوي استاذ الشاشه.
نغبش شوي الشاشه. بلشنا
تمام عندي انا.
استاذ انا عندي
إذا الصراحة عندي واضح ما بعرف، يمكن جاء دخل في الواي فاي عنده.
طيب
استاذ اسا صارت مبينه منيح. استاذ هلا صارت مبينه منيح.
Okay, good. Do you have any idea why Daniel is absent?
ايه انا بدي اقول لك ونسيت استاذ، ونبلش بالدرس بديش قطعك. ما عندوش واي فاي. رايح يجيب واي فاي اليوم من على بكره، حتى اول ساعه حكاني كول عادي قال لي ما فيش واي فاي.
اوكي.
عمر لا ما حكانيش بقى.
عبد الرحمن
كمان لا بعرفش.
Thank you.
هلا
Are you done? Done?
أستاذ
Yes?
لا تزعلش مني، بس مش فاهمين شيء منه لهالدرس.
لا مش حزعل منك أكيد يعني، بس بزعل منك إذا ما بتخبرني، وبزعل منك إذا بتتركهم يتراكم. يعني بزعل منك إذا أنا كنت مثلا شرحت الهوريزونتال اسيمتوت وما فهمته وما قلت لي، وتركني كمل رحت للفيرتيكال اسيمتوت وكمان ما فهمته وما قلت لي، وتركني بلش بالاكسرسايزز. هون ساعتها ايه رح بلش ازعل منك. بس انه واحد ما يفهم اكيد مش راح ازعل منه.
ما انا قلت مع الحل بفهمه، بس طلعت لا بفهمنش مع الحل.
طيب لا تكرم معي كلام عفوا هذا الحكي موجه للكل مش بس لك. لازم ما حدا يترك فكرة مش واضحة يلا بلكي بعدين، مش بعدين بعد شي كم سيشن هيك لا.
سخنيها شوي يا اختي، عم ابا شربان يا مسك عم جلدك بشربها يا كرمالك ما سخناش يا بدوش سخنها مشان يفل. يا اختي فيش ولا متي بالعالم تنشرب بشربة وحدة غير اول دق.
You started internet connection.
والله غاب بس له غلط بس طلع عباله هو بالضبط.
كيف؟
لسه واعي بك مؤخر بفل.
Can you hear me? Hello?
مرته ما بدك
استاذ سامعينك.
خلينا نزعل الكراش كمان واعي بغي الناس. اليوم في عنا دعم، في عنا دعم بيقعد مثل الشاطر.
Can you see the graph here?
استاذ
Here is the horizontal asymptote. Y equal to. We said that y equal to is horizontal asymptote. You see? Horizontal line y equal to. The graph is very, very close to this line when x becomes very large in positive or very large in negative. And x equals 0, we said that it is a vertical asymptote, which is the y-axis, in fact. Okay. And we found limit as x approaches 0 minus, we just found it is negative infinity. So from the left side of 0, the graph is going down. Can you see? From the left side of 0, the limit is negative infinity. So the graph is going down. And we found limit as x approaches 0 plus is positive infinity. So from the right side of 0, the graph starts from positive infinity. You see? Okay? Clear? Questions?
استاذ عمال ما اعرف فيك تعيدها بدي اعذبك.
We found we said that the horizontal asymptote is y equal to straight line of equation y equal to.
مظبوط.
Here is the line y equal to horizontal line, and as you can see graphically, the red one is the graph of the function. Y equal to, as you can see, it is a horizontal asymptote. The graph is very, very close to the line when x becomes very large in negative infinity, or very large in positive, so at positive infinity. And we said that we have x equals 0. نعم.
هذه من الماينس انفينيتي للماينس انفينيتي اول شيء، يعني من الماينس انفينيتي يعني كفانكشن قصدي.
ايه
يعني مش هي على الماينس انفينيتي، جاي من الماينس انفينيتي.
لا x from negative infinity أكيد, because the domain here from negative infinity to 0, then 0 positive infinity. But from negative infinity, the graph starts from 2. Not exactly 2, but from the limit is 2, just the horizontal asymptote.
exercises.
اوكي بس انا راجع نازل لتحت ما بناخذها ماينس انفينيتي.
Why is negative infinity? And here, if you are going to set up the table of variations, the graph decreases from 2 to negative infinity. But here are values of y, not values of x. صح؟
اوكي استاذ.
Okay. Now, for the vertical asymptote, we said x equals 0 is a vertical asymptote. Here is the vertical asymptote, x equals 0. And as you can see, the graph is very close to the line. And we found limit as x approaches 0 minus, we just found it, is negative infinity. Limit as x approaches 0 minus is negative infinity. From the left side of 0, the graph is going down. Going to negative infinity. And we found that limit as x approaches 0 plus was positive infinity. So from the right side of 0, the right side, here is the graph, starts from positive infinity. Okay? Clear? Questions? No questions.
كلير استاذ.
Good.
شو؟ بيض؟ ما عمل.
Part 2, we have f of x is equal to 3x minus 1
بس اخ. انت تكون جيت احضر.
مجد 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 سألنا السؤال مجد فعلا يا مجد طيب ناتالي
ايه استاذ يلا.
وعندي horizontal asymptote.
اوكي بس انا بعدني مش كتير معودة عليهم.
بحدا بعده معود علي أول مرة. عادي. When you practice, when you solve exercises, okay. بتعود يعني.
اوكي.
Yeah. What do you have to find in order to determine the horizontal asymptote?
الليمت.
Limit. As x approaches what? Horizontal asymptote. Limit as x approaches. Yes, Natalie.
positive or negative infinity ولا لا؟
صح. ناتالي.
دايما يعني بس بوزيتيف ونيجاتيف مثلا ما بتجيش التاني.
دايما. ما في شيء ثاني. For the horizontal asymptote, every time you find limit as x approaches positive infinity or negative infinity.
اوكي.
Right. What will be the limit as x approaches positive or negative infinity? Let's say positive. Yes.
بناخد 3x على x.
3x over x. And what's the answer?
3.
Okay. Can we deduce something?
إنه horizontal asymptote لأن طلع number.
What's the equation? Yes, Natalie.
إنه الواي بتطلع 3.
Y equal 3 is horizontal asymptote. The straight line of equation y equal 3 is horizontal asymptote. And here, please be careful. حتى بعدين ما تتفاجئوا إنه راح لي علامة هون وربع علامة. If you write, for example, same question, find the horizontal asymptote. You wrote this, and then you wrote 3 horizontal asymptotes. غلط. 3 is not horizontal asymptote. 3 is a number. Or you wrote horizontal asymptote. وانت يا استاذ دبر راسك روح شوف شو الhorizontal asymptote. كمان غلط. If you wrote it x equal 3 horizontal asymptote. كمان غلط. X equal 3 is a vertical line. You write the equation. Y equal 3 is horizontal asymptote. وانتبهوا هودي same questions in grade 12 in the official exams. Okay? So we consider it wrong not in grade 11. مش بس انا يعني هيك طلع بالي نكد على الايه لك هيدي غلط. لا، حتى بالاوفيشال exams if you wrote it in this way they consider it wrong answer. Because 3 is not an equation. 3 is a number, doesn't represent equation of a line. You wrote horizontal asymptote. Okay, what is the equation of this line? If you wrote x equal 3 horizontal asymptote, x equal 3 is not horizontal. X equal 3 is a vertical line. Okay, so please be careful. You write it in a formal way. Y equal 3 is horizontal asymptote, or on the correct way, only form. So y equal 3 horizontal asymptote, or let's say the line of equation y equal 3, the line of equation y equal 3 is horizontal asymptote. Okay, so please be careful. Right. Yes, Natalie. مجد. يا أخي وين راح مجد؟
يعني أستاذ هون بتانية وحدة بحطها ليمت أكس لشو؟ لزيرو؟
لا. Limit x approaches what?
نيجاتيف؟
Negative what?
انفينيتي؟
No. By the way, here limit as x approaches positive infinity is equal to 3. The same way limit as x approaches negative infinity is also 3. Because when you simplify here, x will be eliminated, you get 3. So whether positive infinity or negative infinity, it's 3. Just one moment. Sorry. Yes, Natalie. Limit as x approaches what? Good luck. لين بندقش. لين
بعتقدش فيها تفتح مايك لأن مرة فتحت مايك هنا.
Okay. Yes, please. In order to find the vertical asymptote, we have to find limit as x approaches what? لين
أستاذ بس في أعرف لين أي عيلة عم تعيط؟ لين لمين؟ لمين؟
بندقجي.
أوكي.
Yes, Lin. If you don't know, they say I don't know.
انا
If you know the answer, you know the answer.
أساس على أي أساس حطينا ماينس؟
No.
اه
طيب. لين بندقجي مش معنا. طيب. لين يحيى.
أستاذ.
Yes. To find the vertical asymptote, limit as x approaches what?
أستاذ صراحة فكرت فيها بس ما بعرف.
طيب.
أستاذ ما بعرف.
What is the domain
فينا
of this
نقول
function?
فينا نقول نيجاتيف 2.
What is the domain of this function? لين يحيى.
يا كفو.
نيجاتيف 2 شيء؟
X different than negative 2. I'm not guessing. Here, put the denominator equal to 0. The denominator equal to 0 or different than 0. Okay. So x not equal to 0, then x not equal to negative 2.
Okay.
So here you have to find the limit of this. As x approaches this number. Okay. This number minus or plus, you choose one of them. Let's say minus of f of x. Yes, what will be the limit?
هلا بنعوض الاكس بنيجاتيف 2 يعني
Okay.
بتطلع minus 5 over 0
بزعل منك. نيجاتيف 7.
negative 7 over 0 يعني negative infinity.
لا, not negative infinity. It's infinity. Infinity. Now for the sign is this 0. 0 minus or 0 plus?
Plus.
مين قال لك؟ We said negative 2 minus. So you choose a
0
number
minus.
less than negative 2. Let's say negative 2.1. Replace x by negative
تطلع
2.1.
نيجاتيف يا أستاذ.
There's negative 2.1. Replace x here by negative 2.1.
بوزيتيف يمكن بنشيل هودي الساينز.
Negative 2.1 minus or plus 2. The answer is negative 0.1. So 0 minus here really.
Okay.
Negative divide negative.
Positive.
Okay. ما بدي هلا برجع بذكركم بشغله. هون بهالاكسرسايز غلطة واحد يكتبها يعني as Lynn said negative 7 over 0 equal negative infinity غلطة مرحومة. بعدين بالproblems when we study a function when we graph a function هاي الغلطة مش عارف شو الوصف اللي بدي وصفه بس قتول. بعدين فرجيكم اياها. يعني غلطة ساين بتضيع وقت بتشربك لك راسك وبتلكك ونفسيا بتتحطم بالاكسرسايز نفسه. بعدين رح فرجيكم اياها وتذكروا. So here limit as x approaches negative 2 minus is positive infinity. So what can we deduce, Clean?
There is no vertical asymptote.
Vertical asymptote.
نعم.
There is vertical asymptote. Which there is no vertical asymptote. We have vertical asymptote.
لا.
Number infinity. Limit as x approaches number is equal to infinity, so we have vertical asymptote. What's the equation of this vertical asymptote, Lean?
X equal positive infinity.
لا. Yeah. X equal positive. Do you know how to draw the line of equation x equal positive infinity?
لا sorry.
We don't have line of equation x equal positive infinity. X equal this number. X equal negative 2. X equal negative 2 is a vertical asymptote. Or the line of equation x equal negative 2 is a vertical asymptote.
استاذ يعني احنا بنجيب الفيرتيكال اسيمبتوت والهوريزونتال عشان نعرف كيف نرسم الفانكشن يعني.
The part of the study of the function.
Okay.
Part of the graph of the function. Yes. And here is the graph of this function. Yeah, write it, please. Yeah, 3x minus 1 here. Write the solution while I'm writing the function here.
استاذ انا كيف بدي اتعود على الساين؟ يعني كيف بدي اعرف كيف بدي احطهم؟
Hold it.
عم ضيعوني.
Okay. I said here find limit as x approaches negative 2 minus or negative 2 plus one of them. Just find the limit as x approaches to one of them, negative 2 minus or negative 2 plus. Okay. Here we chose negative 2 minus. The same way if you choose negative 2 plus. When you replace x by negative 2, forget about the minus. When you replace x by negative 2, 3 times negative 2, negative 6, minus 1, negative 7. Over negative 2 plus 2, 0. Now, 7 over 0 or negative 7 over 0, it's infinity. أنا رح أرجع ناحية الساينس حتى تمشي أنا وياك كيف طلعنا. Negative 7 over 0, it's infinity. Now, to determine the sign, whether it is positive infinity or negative infinity, here you choose a number. You choose a number slightly less than negative 2. Slightly less than negative 2. Why? Because here we choose negative 2 minus. Slightly less than negative 2, choose negative 2.1. And replace x by negative 2.1 in the denominator only. Here. Negative 2.1 plus 2, it's equal to negative 0.1. It's negative. So you write here negative. 0 minus. Now negative, divide negative, the answer is positive.
Okay.
Clear?
Thank you, Ustaz.
Welcome. Did you finish writing? Are you done? Yes? هتسمعوني أستاذ؟
يا استاذ معك، انا كاتبهم بس ما بعرف الباقي، انا
طيب.
حليتهم.
Good. To show you the graph of the function, by the way, you can download this program, GeoGebra. It helps you a lot to analyze graphs and to understand the graphs. Okay, here is the graph of 3x minus 1 over x plus 2, the red one. We have y equal 3 horizontal asymptote. Here is the line y equal 3. And as you can see here, the line or the graph is very close to the line at positive infinity, and similarly at negative infinity when x is larger than negative. We said that x equal negative 2 is a vertical asymptote. Now see, the graph is very close to the line when x becomes very close to negative 2. And here we found limit as x approaches negative 2 minus is positive infinity. We just found it. Limit as x approaches negative 2 minus is positive infinity. So from the left side of 2, the graph goes to positive infinity. From the left side of negative 2, the graph is very large enough. Okay? And similarly, as x approaches negative 2 plus, will be negative infinity. And the graph starts from negative infinity. Okay? Clear? Any questions?
استاذ
Yes?
ضروري على الجراف نرجع نشوفه اذا متاكدين انه صح يعني او فهمانينه.
لا بس انا فرجيك اياها بس انه ليك شو طلع معنا ولك في الجراف.
يعني ها ما بتجيب لنا انت فيهم جراف بالامتحان
لحد هلا لا، بعدين ايه.
اوكي.
ايه عندي كم ماجد
باسل
بس ما فكرت انبسطت. كم جاد يلا بس لحظه شوي بس. جاد I was saying in the coming lessons we are going to study the derivatives and the application of the derivatives and then the graph of the function. We are going to use the limits in order to graph functions. Part of the graph is using the limits. هون بس انه ضلني عم بذكرك فيها، عم بحكي لك اياها يعني the graph and show the graph according to this limit. Look at the graph compatible. Yes بس
استاذ باي حاله انت امبارح حكيت التنين قلت لنا انه في حاله بيكونش في عنا horizontal asymptote او vertical asymptote. horizontal بس يكون ال x approaches infinity ويطلع جواب infinity.
Yes.
اوكي. وبالvertical asymptote
هلا بعطيك
بس ما
example.
يطلعش infinity.
I will give you an example. Let's solve one more part 5. هذيك صاروا مكررين يعني. Do you have any questions? All of you. يا مجد
نعم.
مجد قال لي مش فهمان وراح اختفى.
هون أنا أستاذ هون.
أخيرا رديت علي. لك وينك؟ وين كنت؟
يا أستاذ أنت بتعرف بالبيت أهلته بيستفود منك.
شو هاي؟
خليتك شو؟
قوم نظف هيك قوم نظف هيك.
شو منظف؟
طيب هل أنت معي؟
معك.
Okay. طيب we are going to solve part 5 or you are going to solve part 5. اوكي ماجد معي بعدك.
معك.
خليك فاتح المايك بليز لضلني ساعد.
أوكي.
Good. To find the horizontal asymptote. What do we find? Limit as x approaches what? Yes, Majid.
فين أحط infinity نعمله replace؟
You find limit as x approaches infinity. Yeah, the point is to find limit as x approaches positive infinity or negative infinity. طيب.
أوكي.
Now, in order to find limit as x approaches infinity for the rational functions, how do you find limit as x approaches infinity for the rational functions? شو علمتكم؟ What do you think?
Now replace.
لا. At infinity. Majid.
شو؟
Just listen, please. You take the highest exponents.
صح.
Okay, so what do I write?
Infinity.
لا.
X square.
X squared.
Over X square.
And what's the answer? X squared over X squared. Don't replace. Simplify first. X squared over X squared. What's the answer?
X over X.
طيب X over X. What's the answer?
Infinity. 1.
ماشي تعنيش منك. So the limit at infinity is 1. Then what is the equation of the horizontal asymptote?
X is equal to 1.
شفت هلا بعدني عم بنبهكم عنه الغلط. X equal 1 is not horizontal. X equal 1 is vertical. When you write X equal 1,
Y is equal to 1.
Okay. Y is equal to 1 is horizontal asymptote. Done. خلصت.
شو بس هو هيك؟
نعم.
بس هيك.
بس هيك.
طيب.
Now for the vertical image. We have to find limit as x approaches a certain number. What's this number?
X is 4.
لا. You put x squared minus 4 different than 0. And then x squared is different than 4. And then x is different than
2.
Positive negative 2. طيب بس ثواني معلش لأنه 6:10 وبلش هيك كم واحد كمان يطلع من الميتينج. We'll take 5 minutes break and we will come back.
Okay.
فينا نطلع 5 minutes؟
ما تطلع من الميتينج خليك موجود. اوكي؟ يعني هلا الساعة 10 وبلش. هلا طلع حدا بعتقد. ولا لا؟ عميد طلع ورجع اجا. كمل.
امبلا استاذ راحت اجت ورجعت اجت الكهرباء.
بعتقد سيرين او سليم ما انت عارف مين. سيرين طلعت.
استاذ
نعم.
بس بالهوريزونتال اسيمبتوت بناخد الهايست اكسبوننت.
You are finding limit at infinity, so you take the high 6 point. Because you are finding limit at infinity.
على طول على الانفينيتي بالهوريزونتال اسنتوت.
Yes.
اوكي.
Okay?
اوكي.
We'll take a 5 minutes break and we will come back.
ماشي.